No. After that, I did one more with Park
I see.
Wiki.
Okay.
Yeah, one more. And then he flew over to Singapore one time as well before they stopped all the flights. Yeah, now it's hard to get flights.
It's impossible to get flight.
Yeah.
At least,
So,
but you can if you have a letter that declare that you have to go for a certain, I mean,
something like that.
certain business. If you're government employee related to COVID, that would be able.
Yes, that's right.
Letter easy.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, quite a
Looks
few
like
people over
we are.
here. Nice.
It's 2 o'clock already. Shall we start or we will wait a couple more longer?
Up to you, Pak Hadi.
Okay. Let's just put it this way. We will start to respect the person, our friend here who already show up. And I think they would be easier for a person who just come in and put their question on the chatting box, on the chat box. And later on, you could explain it to them a little bit more that if they don't get the information before they get in, you should be able to share it to them. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds good. Pak Hadi, can you make me a co-host as well?
Okay. Lala, would you please put Pak Weixi as a host also? Great, yeah.
Thank you. So under the participants tab, and you click on my name, under more, you can click me as host. Oh, you make me the host. Nice. Thank you. Not just the co-host, the host. Let me pin my video for us. Yeah. So like my video. Okay, great. So, Pak Hadi, are you going to
yes.
go through some slides with us
yes,
or something?
No, I will introduce you.
Okay.
First, okay. Thank you, everyone. As you arrived very on time, just even before 2 o'clock. We appreciate it, and thank you for joining us our session today. Pak Weixi here is Tan Weixi is actually my partner. We've been partners since 2 years ago, ya Pak Weixi ya. 2018 ya.
Yeah.
We are actually we have introduced some kind of new model for assessment for profiling called core strength, and it's been a very good demand worldwide, and Pak Weixi is one of the management and a champion for strength. And I think Pak Weixi will share it more later on. But Pak Weixi actually is a professional, also a professional facilitator, professional trainer, and he's been go around the world for many kind of industry, oil and gas, logistic, pharmaceutical, banks, just like BP, ConocoPhillips, Caterpillar, and several banks like HSBC, UOB, DBS, and many more. There is so much that I cannot list it one by one. Pak Weixi is very, what you feel, very good, very good trainer. I shouldn't censor my words, I learned a lot from him, lah. Yeah, that's why
we learn from each other.
I remember when I remember Pak Weixi is our first time in the morning when I wake up from my sleep and I think, okay, today is another day of working from home. What should I do? What can we still go forward? We have to do something. We cannot go and take our destiny like this. We have to create something, give an impact for our surroundings. And what should I do? What can I do? Yeah. and suddenly one name come up in my mind, boom, and your name just appear. Yeah, for your knowledge, guys, for the participant, my relationship Pak Weixi is only business, yeah, no personal relationship. He's not my type.
But you are my type. Hey.
Yeah. Pak Weixi has one wife and one daughter, ya Pak ya?
Two.
Two daughter.
Two daughters.
Yeah, two daughter. So if any ladies here interested to Pak Weixi, he's taken already, ya.
Okay.
You
Faithful
cannot
to
go
one,
for.
sincere to all.
No. There is a reason why I say this. After you saw Pak Weixi session, you will see, wow, this guy is good lah. We can learn so much, and he's very charismatic trainer actually. So today we will learn many things about how we can handle this work from home things becomes our new normal. Because Pak Weixi, I myself believe that even after this lockdown period, or we call it in Jakarta is PSBB, pembatasan berskala besar, ya, pembatasan S-nya apa ya? Aku lupa. Ada yang bisa bantu S-nya? Ya, intinya some kind like lockdown, but not too strict. Ya, if government try to fine us about $300 each and every time we go out, I think. It will backfire to them. Everyone will scream and mad at our government. Yeah. So. Yeah. After everything is after the virus, perhaps showing the downfall for the graphic, I think there is no possibility that we can go back to normal just like 6 months ago or 7 months or 8 months ago. We will facing a new model, new normal. So how we could face, could handle, and could adapt with that new normal and our right now condition. Pak Weixi will share it his like knowledge, his many tips and tricks about how to handle it. And most of all, I learned something from Pak Weixi about conflict management model that could be shared, ya Pak Weixi, right now, yeah. Because working from home with online communication, with remote working, is a very high risk for conflict because we cannot see our friends, our colleague directly. Ya, kita nggak bisa melihat teman kita, rekan kerja kita, partner kerja kita itu langsung. Jadi potensi konfliknya must be tremendous gitu ya, luar biasa besar. So I think I don't want to bore you with my words. I will give the session to Pak Weixi. Pak Weixi, yours.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction, Pak Kedi. All right, I'm just going to share my screen right now. Give me a minute to share my screen. Yes. So can all of you see me? Yeah? You can all see my screen right now, yeah? So unfortunately, we have a big group today. Fortunately and unfortunately, I see 60 participants. So what I would like to suggest that we do is to perhaps write down some of your information on the group chat if you have any questions. So let's take it like a conversation, yeah. So anytime, just unmute yourself, or you can use the chat group for us. That's fine as well. So today I'm going to spend a few minutes really talking about thanks for that. Yeah, I'm going to spend some time talking about how we can boost our results and minimize conflicts for your remote teams. So while I'm going through some of this, think about, Pak Kedi was mentioning conflicts. It happens. I mean, everybody have gone into conflicts before, isn't it? It happened when it's face to face, and it could happen even more during this time of working at home together, right? How many of you haven't had conflicts ever before in your life? Never argue with your wife, never argue with your friends. Yeah, if you are such a person, I would wish to learn from you as well. Yeah, it's really tough. So all of us go into conflicts all the time. It's just human nature, right? But how do we overcome this? Let's have a conversation about this later on. Yeah. But I'd like everybody over here to spend a minute thinking about your top challenges when you're trying to manage remote teams from a distance during this period of COVID-19. What is some challenges that you face, right, in terms of boosting results? So take a minute to think about this as I move along. All right. If you are with me so far, I have 59 of us. Could you just type a yes into the chat box so that I know that you are here with me? Give me some encouragement, or I drink some water over here. If you are with me so far, yeah. Would you like to type yes into the chat box? Oh, I see a yes from Cherry. Yeah. Pak Dodi, yes. All right. Wonderful. Yeah. So you guys are with me. Wonderful. Great. That sense, yes. Maybe, yo. Great, nice. So let's keep this going, yeah. So type the chat. I'm always looking at it in front of my screen. Let's move on from here. Something about myself. So this is me. I just turned 18 yesterday. Yeah, so that's me. Yeah, 18 years old. My surname is Tan. My name is Weixi. Yeah, I don't have a Christian name. You can pronounce it as a way to see, right? As a way to see. So I'm here, not here to teach, but perhaps to offer you a little bit about the lessons I've learned, about the things that work for me so far, and hopefully all of us can take something away from this 2 hour session. Yeah. So this is some of the things that I've done. I'm certified in a few different psychometric assessments that you can see on the left of your screen. Harrison Assessment, DISC, I'm sure all of you know about that. Workplace Big Five, yeah. I work a lot in the IT area previously. So I was managing Asia Pacific operations. So I deal with different time zones. I deal with Europe. I deal with US as well. Yeah. So a lot of working with remote teams, and I really do realize how tough it is for us to work. You know, within the same country. You know, remote working is tough. I was working with different time zones, so basically I never sleep as well. So nowadays, I also start teaching for several universities like George Washington and Duke University. So for the senior levels in terms of design thinking and other areas. Yeah. So that's a little bit about myself. If you find Weixi difficult to remember on a Friday, why? We finished using all our RAM. Yeah. No more RAM. Oh, no more juice. I've been squeezed dry already. It's okay. You can forget about Weixi. You can remember it as a way to see. Weixi. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah. So I'm here to just, not to teach you, but perhaps just have a conversation. Yeah. And if on a Friday is very tough as well, you can remember me by my surname Tan. Mr. Tan. That's fine. All right. So I asked you a few minutes ago about your top challenges in managing teams from a distance, your top challenges in communicating and getting results, in a virtual environment. Can I just have a few of us perhaps typing in what are your top challenges in working together in a remote environment? What are some of the challenges? Could you spend some time and type it onto the chat box for me, please? Yeah, communications. What about communications? What are some for Alexander, right? What are some communication problems that you are facing? Why is it harder to communicate in a remote sense? In misunderstood, yeah. We say in communications you have what we call the words, how you express it, and the verbal ones. And if you have an internet connection problems, how do they fix it, Cherry? They fix it by saying off your video, off your video. When you off your video, you're only hearing it from the voice, and it's even worse, right? Misperception, definitely. Yeah. How do we actually go about the mood? Misunderstood. What you type wasn't what the other person. Like for now, we are muting you because we have quite a number of people here, right? But if you're typing, people could misunderstand you all the time, right? I had a case. This is a long-time friend of mine, and we like to use WhatsApp in Indonesia as well, isn't it? So WhatsApp, and it was a common group with all these friends. These people were my friends from university, right? From university, And then this group of people were from the same extracurricular group coming together. So after university, you know, everybody have their own life, but we still keep this group chat. Yeah. Oh yeah, all of us have the group chat, right? So there's this one, and once a year, twice a year, we try to catch up, makan, and do some of these things. But there's one particular guy. He was a teacher, guru. Yeah, he was a teacher. He didn't join us. One meeting, two meeting, three meeting, four meeting, right? So it turns out I didn't see this person, this close friend, yeah, for about 2 years. Okay, so one day, there's a few of us who are administrator in the group, right? There's always a few people, right? Another friend of mine, he was an administrator as well. So he went and he met someone else who was from the same, uniform group that we were in. So he put a message to everybody in the WhatsApp group. Hey, can I invite Miss A and Mr. B to join us in this group chat? Because we were friends last time, right? Can we invite? So me, yeah, given my context, I just replied. I was cheeky at that time, right? So I replied, yes, invite them in. Maybe we will see these two person more often, yeah, than my friend, the guru, right? The teacher who was not here, than Mr. L. Maybe there's a higher chance. So that's what I did. And I replied. And towards the end, you know what did I do? I do an emoticon. You guys know what is emoticon? In your WhatsApp, the one that you have all the expression, crying and all this.
Yellow one,
yeah. Yeah, the yellow one, yeah, emoticons. I placed an emoticon that was like this. If you guys can look at the screen, you know that one. You're winking and then you have a tongue coming out. It means I'm joking, yeah. It means I'm joking. So I put that in to tell this person, hey, you have been missing. Very subtle, right? You have been missing our group gatherings. Come for the next one. Yeah. So that's what I did. You know what happened after that? Now, what happened after that was I was busy. I was in a meeting with Pak Kerdi and something. So I replied the WhatsApp, one message. Then I stopped. Then I do other thing. Then, you know, group messages, yeah, people message, and then your message gets all the way down, right? So I didn't reply. You only reply group messages when you're free, right? Yeah. So when I finish everything and I go back, okay, there are other messages. Okay, just ignore. Good. Another day, yeah, another day, another Sunday, good life. Until about 2 months later, you guys know what happened? One of my friend, the one who initiated adding these two person, he says, Park Weixi, you know what? I said, I didn't know. You know, after you type that message, our good friend, the teacher, he left the group, you know. I said, serious? After I typed the message with the emoticon, he left the group. Wow. Okay. I have no idea because I didn't even realize that he left the group, right? So he said, is there something going on between you and him? He's like, are you guys fighting? I said, no, I have no idea. I was just typing that joke. I was expecting him to reply, but no, he took it seriously and he left the group, you know. So immediately, I called my friend up, this friend who left the group. I say, did I offend you? I'm so sorry. And he said, the way you write it is wrong. You know, we are friends. You should not have write it that way. I feel like you did not respect me. I said, wow, no, we have been friends for 30 years. Oh, not 30, yeah. I said I just turned 18 years old yesterday. I was 17 years. so
actually,
so he was saying, oh, you know, you didn't respect me. I was like, okay, wow, you didn't respect. So I apologize. I really didn't expect that he took it so seriously. So misunderstood, miscommunications, right? It gets a lot. It's because of filter. It's because of this word called a filter. We look at things through our own filter. Okay, what I believe to be true, I make sense of it. But what you think is correct might not really be true. We have a filter in between us. And I'll show you more about this as we move along. Yeah. How could we actually prevent this from happening? Right? How can we prevent this from happening? So thanks so much for everybody who has been replying via the chat. We got in the system over here. Let's carry on, yeah, and have some questions and answers just like the way we're doing right now. So you guys are doing great. I'm gonna move on from here. and talk about what we will be focusing on for the next few minutes. So we have 3 sessions. Am I right, Park Curdy? 3 sessions, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Three intervals. So the first interval, I'm going to talk about using and understanding motives in order to engage. I will share the concept of motives. Yeah. In the second session, I will talk about how we can create a future-ready organization. Right? How can we, minimize the conflict? How can we make use of, you know, our team's data? I call this talent analytics, and I do this with companies all across the world. Amazon, Shell, BMW. I go all around, and then they're using this. I call this an unfair advantage. So how do they use this? So I'll share with you a bit more about this. And I think in my past few times to Indonesia, people are always talking about engagement. How do you engage? We can say millennials or whoever. We are all the same actually. Once you know the analytics behind. And the last one, really, the focus of what we're going to talk about is conflict, isn't it? So how can we prevent conflict, and what can we do in that sense? All right. So these are the 3 items we have. Everybody with me so far? Yes. Good. Wonderful. Let's move on. So these are the 3 things. Part 1. I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes talking about understanding and motives, yeah, to engage. Great. So do you like to watch movies? Yes? Anyone over here among the 69 of us like to watch movies? Quite a lot, yeah? So I let the cat out of the bag just now because my mouth was a little bit fast. Have you seen this movie before? Who's the first to answer the name of this movie in the chat box? Come on. Who has seen this movie before? What's the name of this movie? Very famous movie. Thank you. Yes. Lord of the Rings. Yeah. You know why they call this a movie? You know why they call this a movie? Because in real life, yeah, it is really, really tough. Yes, it's Gandalf in front. In real life, if you guys have been reading magical role play books like me when we were young, right? How is it possible for a hobbit to be with a Avenger, hobbit with a wizard, yeah, with a elf, with a human, with a dwarf? They hate each other in real life, in the mystical world. So how do you get people to come together and align? It's really tough. In real life, it is the same thing. In real life, it's the same thing. It's really, really tough because they look at things from their own perspective, right? You take a look. Gandalf is so tall. He look at so many things, right? And the dwarf is so short. He can't see anything. So we only look at things from our own perspective, isn't it? So the first thing I want to share with the class is, in order to really work better and get better results, we need to make a clear distinction between motives and other things. And one of the best tools that I've used over the past 20 years of consulting, cannot be 20 years because I was 18 years old, yeah. So one of the best tools I've used is by this person called Elias Porter. Now, there are many, many psychometrics in the market, right? How many have been around for that long? 1971 until now, 50 years of history, more than 3 million respondents across 30 different countries. So what you're paying for, if you're having this psychometric, really is the knowledge and the research behind. It's not just someone who thought about 10 questions and make some predictions, because people are unique, people are different. All right. So this is one of the tools which I will use to explain how we can actually bring better results. So this handsome guy over here was me last year. Now this person is called Elias Porter. Yeah, Elias Porter. So he has actually managed core strengths into all the companies you have seen around here. So in one way or another, a small scale or big scale, they have been using core strengths in a certain way to improve how people can work in remote environment. Because look at this, they're all global companies. In a global company, you cannot afford not to communicate and not to deal with someone who's from another company. So we have a question here. I love a question. +1 point. First of all, +1 for you. Okay, Andy. Yeah, what is the name of the tool? The psychometric tool is called Core Strengths. And those of us who are interested, you can go and Google corestrengths.com. Right? I have a lot of information. If you want more information, you should go to my website, exquisiteconnection.id, because I have it in Bahasa, some of the items inside there. So go ahead and take a look at the chat box. Yeah, thanks for that. So these are some companies over here. I'm gonna go straight in and not talk so much about the research and all this behind. Let's talk about strength. Dr. Elias Porter says strengths are actually behaviors, what you tend to show. Look at this. This is what we call a buoy in the middle of the sea, right? To prevent the ship from going near, they have all these buoys to show you where are the markers for the sea, right? Because when you're in the middle of the sea, everything looks the same. So this is a buoy, and buoy shifts. Buoy are behavior. Buoy are things that you can see, right? So a lot of tools in the market are really based on behavior. Weixi talks very fast, the Singaporean. Talk so fast, walk so fast. Cody is saying, yeah, even makan with you, yeah, also so fast. Right? Because he's fast, he should be like this. Oh, because Cody is also fast, he should be like this. This is behavioral theory. Sometimes, yeah, it is easy to validate because someone who display this tend to have such a follow-up action. It's easy to validate from the science point of view, from the psychometric point of view. But sometimes you could get really, really wrong, Why? Like those Andy says, that can shift to prevent collapse. No. This is in the sea. This is in the sea. So this is just a marker. Take a look at the picture here. You have like 28. So for example, right, if I'm sailing in the open sea from Jakarta to Malaysia, Penang. So the people over there will say, okay, so along the way, after sailing for 30 minutes at 20 knots, I should be hitting a buoy with number 28. If I don't see number 28, salah, sabra. So basically that's what it means. It's like markers in the sea. Because in the sea, everything looks the same. Left, right, up, down. So these are those buoys. Markers, you can say that. Cody, do we have a name for this? Like in Bahasa?
In Bahasa we call it apa ya?
Markers, ya? Apa ya?
Kayak pelampung di tengah laut yang
yes.
buat tsunami, terus kemudian penanda kalau ada karang.
Yes. Mercusuar.
For the port.
Exactly. Something like that, yeah? Something like that. Okay, so we have the buoy. So these are things that you can see. You can see. Now, if you are using core strengths, we believe that we don't only look at what you can see. You need to look at what's underneath. Something like a beacon. I think that's a better explanation. Yeah, Andy? Beacon. So we don't want to look at what's at the surface, only the beacon, only the buoy. No, you want to look at what's underneath the sea, what's underneath the surface. Right? What do I mean by that? Now, if you look at what's underneath the surface, these are what we call motives. Motives are the why you do certain things. And when you're able to understand the why, you become much better at connecting. You become much better at what you do. Let me give you an example. Okay, perhaps let's see. Perhaps there is myself. Okay, and Park Cuddy, and Park Andy. Three of us. Okay, three of us. If you go on behavioral theory, like the buoy, yeah, strength theory, what you can see, all of us come to work. Datang kerja jam 7, yeah, 7 o'clock. All of us come together. So according to behavior theory, behavior psychometrics, the three of them the same, because three of them come at 7. So treat them the same way. You will get the same results. That's what the behavioral guys will tell you, Now, but if you follow our system, if you try to understand a person's motivation, so maybe not our system, anybody, you understand motivation, motives. If you understand motives, it could be different. Why? Now, because Park Cuddy, what happens? He loves his work. He works every day, right? There is no public holiday. There is no like a weekend for him. Every day he's working. At the night, right? If not for the fact that the security guard, tell him to go home, kick him out of the office, he will carry on working because he loves his work. That's Park Cuddy for you, yeah. What about Park Andy, right? Park Andy, untuk naik pangkat, yeah, due for promotion. So what happens? He come at 7, so that the boss Very good, yeah, Andy. Doing good. Like him. Higher chance of being promoted. Yeah, right? So one is self-motivated, right? The other one also motivated, but for promotion, yeah? How about me? I also come at 7, right? Why do I come at 7 a.m. in the morning, right? Right? Datang kerja jam 7. Why? Because I come at 7, then I want to leave work at 4. Why? Because I want to play football. But I don't shortchange the company, right? I still need to give certain amount of work, right? So I come early, but I leave early. Now you tell me, can you treat the three of us the same way? The very self-motivated Pak Kerdi, who works even if it's free, you don't pay him, he's still working, right? How about the one, Pak Andy, who's due for promotion? He's coming in early so that the boss can see him. About me, the lazy bum who wants to play football. Does it make sense? So when you understand the motives, you would treat people differently. Does it make sense? So motives, what I want to say is much stronger as an indicator than behavior. So this is the first thing I want to share with the class. You want to improve relationships, focus on motives and not behavior. Focus on motives. Everybody clear about this? Yep, understand the motive and the intention. Thanks for that. Wonderful. So now our research have shown over the past 50 years, there are 3 types of motives. The first type, people, right? The first type is people motives. So you are concerned about the people around you. You go around and the first thing you see around you, right? For people with biru color, right? They go and they say, have you makan? Sudah makan? Yes. Did you have a good rest last night? Did your kids, keep you awake? I hear them crying last night. Wow, very blue, concerned about the people around them, right? The second motive that you have is perhaps what we call performance, right? What is performance? Merah, right? What is the people who have performance motives? They tend to be concerned about results. Hey, come on, where's the sales? COVID-19, you work from home, don't need to make money, is it? Why? Motive is always about results, yeah. The third P is what we call process, step by step, order. Hey, Pakadi, you haven't given me this, how can I go on and do this for you and all this? They want law and order in their country, they want law and order in their life. Things must be done step by step, right? So these are the 3 motives. And you, me, Andy, everybody around here, right, Pak Alexander, everybody around here, we all have all 3 motives. All 3 motives in us. But we are a blend. We blend. Some of us are more blue. Some of us are more red. Some of us are more green. Yeah, so we are a blend. It doesn't mean that if the profile or someone tells you I am process driven, this person is heartless. No blue at all. No. You still have, but just overall, you are more towards process. Process is more important to you. Does that make sense so far? So motive. So there are 3 motives over here. Okay, there are 3 motives over here. And I'm going to move on if everybody is okay with me. So, and these motives, in our research, we realize it happens 2 ways. One, when things are going well, and when things are not going well. When things are going well, people have a set of motives. When you start becoming angry, when you start to go into conflict, your motives will shift. And I'll start talking about this later in the later part of the day. For now, you just need to know that there are 2. We realize in our research there are 2 types. People change, right? People change. During good times, you could be, yes, sudah makan, yeah. And when things go wrong, the angel, change. The 2 horns come out over here. You have friends like that? Any one of you have friends like that? Angel. And then suddenly become devil when fighting. Yes? Yeah. So if you have, that means, people are different as well. It validates what our research have shown. Okay, so very quickly over here, blue, once again, focus on people, right? So they belong to, in our SDI, in core strengths, we say, it depends on external factors, isn't it? Very good question from Park Andy. Motives motives is hidden, just like the picture I show you guys just now, right? You have behavior and you have motives. Motives is what is stuck here. Motives is what is at the base of what you do. So it has a guiding thing. So behavior is very much changeable based on external factors. So for example, you are at home and you are at the workplace, or you are at the sales department and then you were posted to a customer service department. If you have done other profiling, maybe like DISC or other form of behavior profiling, when you move to another environment, they will always recommend you to take another one. Why? Because the results totally change, because there's a lot of external factors that affect you, right? What about when we say motives? Will motives change over time based on external factors? Will it change over time? What is the chances of motives changing over time, right? The chances really is not that high. Why? Our motives, right, is our beliefs. It depends on different things. It's made up of your upbringing. Orang tua will teach you. It's depending on different things. Agama, your religion, is dependent on your own experiences over the years. Yeah. So it won't shift. If I'm a people person today, I won't go tomorrow like this, right? Happy, sad, happy. Next day, sad. No, it's a constant thing. So the chances of it changing, I won't say you can't change, is much lower compared to behavior, because this is who we are, why we survive. Motives. Does that answer your question, Andy? Yeah, it's dependent, but the chances of it changing is not so high. It doesn't float around that fast because it's everything coming together. Yeah. Is it okay? Can I move on? Yeah, good. Great.
Yes.
So yes, Cody, you have something?
Repair my.
Okay, good. I'm gonna move on. So
Question
blue. Then we have a red color, right? We have red color, of course, performance, and we have green color, which is of course process. So these are the three main colors. As a result, and of course, when everybody comes together, you know, everything is a bit of everything. We call these people the hub motivational value system. MVS stands for motivational value systems, right? So we have in our psychometric, if you are using core strengths as a tool, we tell you how people are based on the answers to our psychometric. And these are 7 different types of psychometrics that you have. Motivational value systems. Thanks for that. All right. So if you happen to use this for your group and you happen to have this information, it could be for your workplace, it could be for your house as well, you know, you and your wife, and I have people who are, you know, they want to use this for their own gatherings, their own family. It's possible as well. Let me share with you what happens. So when you put a few of such profiles together, you see a lot of dots over there. The dots are what I call pimple. So this pimple tells you your MVS, your motivational value system when things are going well. Yeah. So it basically tells you a few things, right? How does your team interact together, right? What do you value? What drives you, etc. So I'm just gonna quickly do a new share over here and share with you something which is a bit more live. If you guys can see my screen. If you can see this new screen, can you please type yes into the chat box? Yeah. If you guys can see this new screen. All right, thanks. Thanks, Helen. Welcome. Yeah, Maya as well. All right, good. So we have core strengths. What I'm going to show you right now is a group result. This is imagine this is a team of people over here, and I'm showing the names. Okay, so imagine, right, in a group which has Amy, David, Ella. So can someone describe to me, given what I've said so far, what does blue stand for? In the chat box, what does blue stand for? People who are nearer to the blue color, biru, people, thank you, yeah? They are biru. They are more concerned about people, right? So these three will always be doing team building, when we are breaking fast, buying things together, we're having fun together. So those are the blue people. Now what happens, if they are in the same team, and I have one more person here. This person's name is called Victoria, and she is red, merah. Please tell me what would happen. Performance. What would happen? Will the four of them work well together? Will they work well together? Three blue and one performance? No, right? There'll be the number 12. Victoria might be saying, "You do it." But we have been working late. We are running out of energy. We need to go and break fast. I don't care. You haven't given what you promised me today. Stay behind and do it. Then they say, "Why are you like this?" They couldn't comprehend, right? Sometimes they say chemistry. Chemistry. This is chemistry for you, because they focus on different things and they fight. Yeah. So this is something that could potentially happen when you have two groups like this. When you know the MBS, you understand why they fight, because they look at things in a different way. 1, 4, and 5. Amy, David, and Ella, they value relationships. They value people. The other one value results even more. And I see this. So number 12 try to dominate over 154. Very good observation, Andy. So this person is not trying to dominate. From this graph, you have no idea who is the leader. You have no idea who is the leader, right? You can only see that they have a different view. Thanks for that, Alexander. You only see that they have different view. We are not able to see which is a better leadership style because it depends. And Betty is saying that she's red. So just now someone was commenting, I think in the chat over here, that the 154 they talk too much. Who was that saying? Yes, Alexander. Talk too much, right? So what happens, if I don't have this? So I'm gonna take them away. So what happens, if I have this? What happens if I have Betty in this team as well? What would happen? Very performance driven. They work. And they work doesn't mean they will argue with each other. Some of us have this conception, the red color are bad. It's not true. Some of the best performing organizations I have, that I've seen, they have a lot of red inside. Insurance company, banking, finance, they are really good. The problem is less relationship. Less relationship, probably. But it might not be wrong, because if that's not what they want, and if that's not what they want, it's okay. It's not what satisfies them. They are happy. I do more work, pay me money. Performance is the most important. I will trade my time for money.
Pak Weixi,
Yes, Curry.
how
I can't hear you well. Yeah.
How do you hear me?
Yes.
How if that person consider the relationship is something you can count on to boost the performance?
Yes.
He or she will also maintain the relationship well, isn't it?
Indeed. Relationship, the performance is what they want eventually. So
not because the people, because the performance, right? That's motive.
Yes. Yeah, it's motive. It doesn't mean that a person who's red doesn't know how to maintain relationship. They know. Why? Because if I keep close relationship with this particular senior director, and I know it's going to help me climb far in my career, do you think that those of us in red won't maintain relationship? We will, right?
Because
And
the performance.
Because what they want is performance. They value it more than blue. It's not they don't have blue, they have blue, but they value red more. There's a difference to this, It's not that they don't have blue, they still have friends. But if they have to choose, right, probably performance will come first. And then what happens is, probably if they are not aligned, if you don't set proper KPI, then what happens? Then the red will fight among themselves. 2 and 12 fight among themselves. Because I want my performance, you want. But if I set a performance that both of them must complete together as a team in order to get the performance, you think they will work together, man. Even if I don't like you, I will force myself because performance matters more than anything else. Ah, Game of Thrones, yeah. This is very interesting. Motive is the most interesting. Cody says, Bart, you can only talk 2 hours. This thing, yeah, I can talk 3 days. And I
Yeah,
have so
yeah.
many examples.
I'm the witness that you can talk
Oh,
the
yes, you have seen it
straight
before.
3 days even without sleep.
Yeah. Very good. Let me see what else we have here. So the red team choose to ignore their personal relations. Yeah. So that's not really true. Yeah. Not they don't really ignore. But as long as it helps to build their motives, they will do it. They will do it. Yeah. So they are more concerned about the end result, which is really blue. And Utiman said something which is very interesting. It's hard to keep both. Let me share with you another profile over here about someone who probably can do this relatively better. Take a look at these two persons. If I compare these two persons, number 3 Curtis and number 8, probably these two will do better. Why? Because they land in the middle space, right? Sedikit biru, sedikit merah. So for them, they have a little bit of concern. If I compare this to pure merah, maybe you have a little bit more blue color. Does it make sense? So can. Yeah. So it could be as well. Yeah. So this could be. What else we have? We have green color as well, right? So green color, of course, is process, but we don't need to go there. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So if it's all blue, what happened? All blue, talk, 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 talk. Very nice, very nice. Everybody is very nice. But do you have results? Results not so important. Main thing is environment very nice. Yeah. So good people stay forever. Environment very nice. What happens if all merah? A lot of results. But if you don't manage them well, there could be fighting. What happens if all green? What happens if all green? What happens if your team is like this? Describe it. Process. All about rules and regulations. How would it be? Government stuff, step by step, technical stuff, very professional. Park, you take this form, go here, do this first and do this. It's very, very different, very, very difficult, very urgent. I'm sorry. This is the process. Please. Very professional, not a lot of life, but things are done very well. You ask them something, they're thinking. But when they give it to you, probably is well thought out because they spend a lot of time thinking about it. Compliance, you need green. Make sense? Wonderful. So great participation, So David as well, SOP oriented. So again, there's no good and bad. It depends really on your team's culture, right? Depends on what you want. But this tells you how people might fight, how people might react to each other, right? So this is a very important chart for us, right? That might be useful. So if I can show you how do we engage everybody in an environment, perhaps this is a good slide that can summarize, right? If you have a lot of blue, you realize there's a lot of people, like some of us, our sons are blue as well. So you know them best. Sometimes you need to go through psychometric, sometimes you don't. Sometimes psychometric comes up with a totally different result because you are judging someone based on their behavior. You think they are blue, actually they are not blue. So it could be as well. So that's the reason why people still come to me to do it. I have people who come to me personally to do it. It's not for their work. They come to me personally after some time. Weixi, can you share? I love what you do. So we try to work something out over there as well. Let me share with you a personal story why it might not be true. Me and my wife, we have been together. We dated for 11 years. 11 years. And then we married for 13 more. I'm 18, can cannot lah. So 11 years, and then we got married for 18, for 13 more. So we were together for a long time. My wife, she is biru. She's blue. She's blue. And basically, so whatever the husband wants, she sacrificed a lot for the family. And high school sweetheart, yes. Yeah, we are high school sweethearts. So we've been together for a long, long time. So she's blue. And everything I want, she will try her best to support me. Myself, I'm what you would call a hub. What is a hub? Remember, you have blue, red, green. Hub are in the middle, right? Potong, right in the middle. So who am I? So the middle people, the hubs, yeah, they are team players. They want flexibility. I keep my options open. So as long as the team is happy, I am happy, right? I'm happy. So what happens is that when we come home each day, my wife, yeah, she will ask me, darling, would you like dinner? I say yes. Then my wife will ask me, darling, what would you like for dinner? What is my reply? What do you think is my wife's reply? Sorry, what is my reply? My wife asked me, what do you want for dinner? I'm hub. I'm concerned for the team. As long as the team is anything. Thank you, Curtis. I say anything. The family happy, I'm happy. The kids makan, I'm makan. I'm anything. So I reply my wife. Or up to you. Yeah, same. Yeah. I reply my wife. Darling, what about you? What would you like to eat? What would my wife say? Up to you. Why? Because blue ma. Because blue ma. As long as the husband happy, she's happy. So both of us say up to you. How? No one make decision, right? So what happened? They say, darling, let's take a shower first. Yeah. So I take my shower, she take her shower, finish already. Yeah, because blue concern for other people. Thank you, Andy. You got it right. Yeah. So we come out together. For me, it's not concerned about other people. I'm a hub. I concern about team. The blue concern about other people. But both of us display the same behavior, which is when we ask, what do you want? Anything. You realize there's a difference? The behavior is the same. Why we say it is different. So we come out and we finish from the shower. So I asked my wife the question again. Wife, what would you like? What would you like? How does she reply? Anything. Then she asked me, huh? Bang, what would you like? Anything. Shit. Oops, sorry for my language, right? We cannot say anything. So we cannot. So never ending conversation, right? So what happened? We sit down, indecisive. Thank you, right, Cody? Indecisive. We sit down, we watch TV. We watch TV until the stomach. Shit. I think we must have a dinner already, yeah? And then what happened? We look at the time. All the shops close. So we only makan McDonald's. Sad story of my life. Sad story for my life. Is it basically that your wife is concerned about what you want to eat? You are concerned about what she wants to eat. Okay, the difference is this, right? My wife is concerned about me. I am concerned about the team because I am not blue. I am hub. If I may review to you guys, if you take a look at where I am, yeah, I'm going to show you my screen. This is where I am. Can you guys see my cursor over here? Yes? Can you see it moving around the screen? Yeah. So this is where I am. I am a borderline hubber. I am close to blue-red. That's why I'm an entrepreneur for the past 20 years, right? And I am a hub as well. So flexibility is important for me. People is important for me, but results are also important for me. And I'm going to share with you part 2 of the story. So we finished that. We ate McDonald's. I became fat. I put on 5 kgs, and I say, cannot for red. I think we should eat. And then you just eat. You don't care. Why? If you don't want, you cannot decide. I will decide for you. That's what the pure red will say. But for me, because I'm a hub, I will say anything. So when that happened a few times and I become fat, I put on 5 kg. What do? I decide, no. As a hubber, as a hub, I care for my team. This way that we go along, husband and wife are a team, right? We're not going to get good results. So what do? Anytime I reach a scenario like this, my wife asks me, where do you want to go for holiday after COVID-19? Which school do you like to send your daughter to? Which present do you want to buy for Christmas? And both of us say anything. You know what happened? I make a realization. I will make the decision. I make the decision because I know the team has to have a leader. Does it make sense? So I started doing this. I had a realization in my younger years of being together, right? So I started doing this. And then, people like us, we do so many psychometrics. I go through thousands of this SDI psychometrics, core strength psychometric, right? So sometimes you get boring. So yeah, you got to step up. Exactly what you mean. So what I did was I gave the profile to my wife. I gave the profile to my wife. I gave her and I say, pretend you are Weixi, and I want you to answer these questions. Pretend you are me. How would you answer these questions? So she answered the survey question. In the end, you know what it turns out? I am here, right? I am here. Yeah. You know where it turns out? It, in the end, it turns out she thinks that I'm here. Red. You know why? Because she judged me based on my behavior. She judged me. She says that, hey, you make decisions all the time. You are the one who makes a decision. Not true. I try to, but when nobody makes decision, I make it. But she only see this part. So she thinks I am red, but actually I'm not red. The reason for making a decision is because I have a hub motive. It's because I want the team to do better. Hubbing is about putting the team ahead of anybody else, being flexible, balancing all three, which is what Andy and Utiman has said, right? It means to find harmony solution. Everybody must be happy. Team is more important than an individual. That is my motive. So, so I have friends who tell me, wow, the sacrifice you make, it's not a sacrifice. As long as you are happy, I'm happy. So that's a hub, right? So this is my story for those of us who are saying, okay, maybe I can judge. Yes, you can. It depends. It depends. Depends. All right. So I'm gonna move on to my last slide, and we're gonna move on, hand it over to Kurdy to do something. So next one over here is really engaging environment. So for blues, right? If you're trying to use this information about your motives, blues, right? It will be nice if you want to communicate with them well. Even in times like this, you are working in remote place, they need face-to-face recognition. They need FaceTime. For them to work alone is really tough. So they are working alone in front of their computer. They are one of the one who have it the worst during COVID-19. If you don't connect enough with them, they don't like working by themselves. They need the chit chat. Yeah. So that's what you do. You have to be concerned. If you have blues in your team, you need to constantly engage them. Yeah. Red. How about red? Red actually can make everybody happy. Yes, red can also. Red are not disturbing people. Red are actually okay. It's just that they want results. And if you can give them results, they will do anything to make you happy. If making you happy will bring them results, they will make you happy. Right? So what is an engaging environment for the red color? Right? For the red color, public recognition. You start off your Zoom call saying, I couldn't have done this without you, right? Public recognition, right? Letting them know that if you do this, right, you have a chance to be promoted. Serious, very good. Betty says, wonderful. Tell me more. Right? Green. What about green? Quiet place. Green, okay. I work by myself. Don't disturb me. I will report to you. I will put into my SharePoint. I will tell you exactly what I did. Don't disturb me. So it's good. But if you want them to work by themselves, you need to give them information, more information rather than less, right? Green, yeah, especially during difficult situations. Exactly, Ultimate, yeah, especially during difficult situations. Green, yeah, and the hub, flexible. Never force a hub. Never force a hub. Now, in my research, I've been in Indonesia for the past 2 years, done it for different corporations. So a lot of people say hub, yeah. In local lingo here in Singapore, we call it chin chai. It means anything, anything can do. Just bully them. No, do not bully the hubs. They are nice. They sacrifice. They take one for the team. If I was describing you just now, but do not take my kindness as a weakness. Because you do enough of it, I will become conflict mode. Am I speaking to you right now? Yeah, those hubs among us, among the 60 of us over here. Yeah, so hubs, they don't like doing the same thing all the time. Just like me, I keep moving on to other things. I keep moving on to new things, right? So that is us. We need to have different things. We need to have options, right? Hawk, we will change. Yeah. All right. So this is what I call the some tips in terms of using motives to create a good engaging environment for us. Yeah. So over to you, Kurdy, for your part.
Okay. So everyone, we have learned about motivational value system. We already knew that there were three types of motive for everyone, like people, performance, and process. And the behavior could be the same, but actually the motive could be different. Weixi just gave us an example of he and his wife, whether his wife is blue and do anything. The motive is please Pak Weixi. But actually, the different motives is being helped out by test. Okay.
Okay. You hear me clearly right now? Hello. Test. Okay.
Yes, better.
So
better now.
actually, Pak Weixi just gave us an example that Pak Weixi and his wife. So his wife is blue. So the motives saying up to you, darling, is because of she tried to please Pak Weixi. And Pak Weixi just up to you because he want to keep balance. He want to keep harmony to everyone for his wife or his children, something like that. So, and the behavior that appear in the surface could be the same, but actually the motives is different. That's what we learn about MVS right now. That's actually when we work with anyone, we have a relationship with anyone. There is many kind of motives that people have, and we could observe and we could try to understand. When we know their motive, we will easily less challenge Pak Weixi to engage with them
Yes. Yes.
There are two kind of situation that we should be considerable about motive when everything is going well, and motive when in the conflict mode. And I think that is our first session conclusion. Short in long story short. Anyone have a question perhaps about this first session? Ada yang mau bertanya dulu tentang first session? You may ask in bahasa and I will translate it for you if you would like to. You can use chat box or you can just raise your hand using click participant, and you can raise hand by click the raise hands button on the right, like this. And like in this point, the blue hand will appear. Anyone? Anyone who asks a question?
It's good. I think everybody was asking along the way, yeah?
Okay, I think they're quite clear right now. Kalau ada yang mau nanya, silahkan ngomong dalam bahasa Indonesia. Sorry, forgive me. I gave the chance to ask in bahasa, but I still use English. Kalau ada yang mau nanya, bisa dalam bahasa Indonesia. Saya akan terjemahkan buat Anda. Silakan. Ya, Mas Priyan. Ya. Bisa tulis dalam chat box, boleh, silakan.
Bisa.
Ada yang connection is quite bad. Okay, but I guess I cannot type that fast. We will think of something later on. Could you show the red MVS? Perhaps not show, Perhaps Pak Weixi, could you please give an example for practical purposes, Just, you give example of hub and you give example for blue. Perhaps if you are red or your wife are red or green, is there any examples that you could share?
Very good. So if all of us, let's take for example over here, right? Let's call up my platform over here. So imagine, right? So how would these two person interact together? Both of them are red. So if it's a red MBS, then what probably would happen is they are concerned about performance. They're concerned about performance. So when they're concerned about performance, as long as what they are doing gives them results, they will do it. They will do it. One of the, if you guys like to watch business programs, you would also know that there's the person called, Jack Welch, and he has popularized this part about whereby the people who are at the low performers in any organization, they get retrenched. Bottom 10% fire, bottom 10% fire. So that's what they do, right? And he did it as an annual exercise in his company. And what happened is I had a participant in my class once. He was from a consulting company. And they do this retrenchment exercise. So you do ranking, ranking, and the bottom one, sack. Ranking again, bottom one, sack. So 1 year, they do 4 times. Every 3 months, 3 bulan, 1 time, sack. Okay, so he was in such a company. This is not something for me. I'm a hub. I say no. I don't even have time to form a team. I won't work in such a company. But he did. I asked him, how long did you work there? 4 years. 4 times 3. He has gone through 12 performance appraisal cycle. What does this tell you about this person? 1, he gives result all the time. He's a survivor. 2, I'm pretty sure he's red because the environment is red. He doesn't need other things. He doesn't need friends. As long as I work hard, you pay me well, boleh. So for KB say, yep, yes, we still need to learn how to communicate assertively. Yeah. The red, comparatively to the green, as David mentions, will have more gut feeling, more risk taker. The green will be a bit slower, right? The green will analyze. But there's good things. Professional, they think things through, right? So in fact, when we're talking about all these different MBS, the important thing is to understand where they're coming from. And there could be a fact that you and me are not looking at things in the same way. So we need to communicate. Yeah. So same thing. There's no right or wrong answer. Relationship is more than that. The first step to really getting results and forming good relationship is awareness that you and me are different. Then let's talk. This is the first step. The first thing is to know you are different. Second thing is to clarify. Right? I hope that's okay for us. Yeah? Wonderful. Shall we move on? Like a referee, yes.
I think we should move on to the next session for the second interval. Good. Yeah, please, Pak Weixi.
Thank you. So this one, I'll go a little bit faster. Creating future-ready organizations, right? Creating future-ready organizations. So I'm going to share with you what I call a team portrait. What is a team portrait? A team portrait basically means all your strengths. Strengths, once again over here, strengths equal to behavior. What are the behavior we tend to exhibit? So if you were doing a core strength, and this is what a lot of companies are inviting us to do, they take these results and they show you, okay, when all my people come together, what is your company culture? Right? So this will tell you your company culture. It tells you, right, your team, what you do well, what is your team culture, what do you guys value. On the other hand, it also tells you what are the things that you tend to do too much of, that it becomes a weakness. So I'm going to show you using this quickly using my app over here again. Yeah. So this is my app. These are the name of all the people. I'm going to remove everybody first. First of all, in our research, we realized that there are 28 strengths, 28 behaviors that's demonstrated by everybody. So every one of us in this class, the 58 of us, we all have strengths. All of us have strengths. But some you tend to use more. Some you tend to use less, right? So if I may do a quick thing over here, let me see, annotate. Let me see, where is my line? Okay, so over here, the top 3 rows. Okay, these are what we call our top strengths. These are our top strengths. It is the behavior we tend to exhibit all the time. Okay, this, the middle 3, are what we call situational strengths. Sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't do it. Those at the bottom, these are called your bottom strengths. These are called your bottom strengths. Bottom strengths are things that you tend not to display. This behavior you tend not to display. I'm going to clear everything over here, and I'm going to show you an example of Amy. Okay, so Amy over here, if you take a look, this is Amy. Now, if Amy also have a childhood love like me, so maybe you ask Amy's husband to describe Amy, and they will say, my wife, she's the most caring person I've ever seen. That's why I marry her. She's so supportive, so helpful all the time. Why does a husband use these words? Because these are things that he see all the time. These are the behavior the wife demonstrate all the time. Those in the middle are what we call situational strength. If you ask her husband, is Amy someone who is very sociable? He might say, with the right friends, Amy is quite sociable. That could be the response because it's situational sometimes, right? Those at the bottom, if you ask Amy's husband, is your wife someone who's very forceful? Probably the answer will be no. My wife is never forceful. She's never forceful on people. So she's always very docile, very nice. So this could be the husband's description of her, right? So this could be the husband's description of her. So we realize that this map tells you the thing that people tend to do. So if you are dealing with Amy, most of the time, this is what you will see. So how would this result be helpful to us in knowing our team culture? So take a look. This is where the magic happens, yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, take a look. This is Amy, okay? If I'm sending Amy to Surabaya to open a new office for our company, okay, if I send her there, she will probably, when she's there, she will show all this behavior, all this top behavior. What happens if I add Chloe? 2 person I send to Surabaya, they will become much more principled. Yeah, they will become much more principled. What happens, if I send someone who's like Ken over? Wow, they become much more ambitious. These 3 person, right, at Surabaya, they say, let's get this deal done. Let's talk to the government. Let's buy this piece of land. They become much more ambitious. Why? Because their strengths come together and it influences how the team makes decisions. So this is company culture. Imagine you have all this information in your hand. Imagine that. You could really know, okay, so we are going to future ready. Next time, we're going to work offline. Next time, we're going to do this. What are the skill set which is needed? And you can use this to realize, do I need to recruit someone new? Do I need to recruit someone new? Do I need to train them? Because these are the things that they'll be displaying, in real life. They spend a lot of time being open to change, caring, etc. Yeah. Facilitator, the host, can you mute some of our friends because I'm hearing some background noise. Yeah, thank you. Some background noise. Yeah. Okay, good. So we have this. This is strengths portrait. This is company culture. Does that make sense to you so far? Am I making sense so far? This is what we call company culture. Or did I lose you somewhere? Okay, so far, yeah. It's okay. Right. So this is strength culture. And on the other hand, what I can show you is also what I call overdone strengths. So what are overdone strengths? No, all of us have strengths, which is behavior, right? And strengths can become overdone. What do I mean by overdone? Now imagine that I'm a car salesperson. I'm a car salesperson, and I sell Toyota vehicle, right? Toyota vehicle. You come and you want to purchase something from Weixi. All right, you come, you want to purchase something from Weixi, And you say, Weixi, can I purchase this Toyota vehicle for you? I say, good choice, Betty, good choice. Toyota has the highest mean time between failure, right? If you buy a Toyota from me, probably, you know, the chances of you coming back for servicing anything that's spoiled is only 93.2%. And our servicing package on average is 10% cheaper than Honda. So you made the right choice. Wow, this guy knows his stuff, yeah? Wow, confident, very good, right? So it is a strength to be able to do that. But what happens if I overdo confidence? I become atas, arrogant, yeah? So if Betty comes to me and say, Park Weixi, can I buy a Toyota from you? Of course, you're going to buy Toyota from me. Who else can you buy it from? Over here, Cody? No, he can't. He knows nothing about Toyota. Who else? What? Alexander? No, cannot be. Right? Oh, this guy, is a bit proud. Yeah, this guy. He thinks he's the only one who knows it all. Even if I have money, even though what he says is really true, I'd rather go somewhere else. Have you had such experiences? People who are so proud, so full of themselves. Yeah? And then you get, have or not? So strengths can be overdone. Strengths can become overdone. Yeah. So this map you are seeing in front of you is what I call an overdone strength map. So similarly, you have 28 overdone strengths. Weakness equal to strength that is overdone. When you overdo it, it becomes a weakness, right? When you overdo it, it becomes a weakness. You have a friend who are very helpful. Everybody loves helpful, yes? Who over here don't like helpful? Can you raise your hand or say yes inside here? Don't like. Everyone like helpful, yes? Who doesn't? Who here don't like helpful? Can you write in the chat box? I hate people who are helpful. Anyone? No one, right? Everybody loves help. But what happens if there is someone who is so helpful to a competitor? Okay, you are seeing some red words over here from Kurdi, yeah, from Park Kurdi. Helpful, when it's overdone, might piss some of us off, right? It could be. You're so helpful. They asked once, Weixi, do you need help? No need, thank you. I can handle this myself. Weixi, do you need help? I can handle this myself. Thank you. Weixi, do you need help? I said I don't need help. Irritating, Alexander. Irritating. I told you I don't need help. Why you? So helpful is a strength. People appreciate helpful people. But when you do too much, it becomes like a house fly. Annoying. And you want to be this person to death, isn't it? It becomes overdone. Are all of us clear about the concept of overdone strength? Unnecessary, yes. Yeah? Annoying, yeah? Great. So what we have here is this, yeah? We have 28 strengths over here, 28 strengths. Again, I'm going to use some quick annotation just to help us out over here. I'm going to draw something. So here, those are the top 3 rows. These are your top overdone strengths. That means you have a tendency of overdoing this. Those in the middle are your situational overdone strengths, okay? And those at the bottom are your conflict trigger. I'll talk more about conflict trigger in module number 3, yeah, about module number 3. But for now, let's take a look at these 3. So what is at the top over here basically means, let's take a look at Amy again. So Amy, so she has a problem. Her weaknesses is sometimes she is, she is so supportive that she becomes self-sacrificing. Have you met people like that? Support. Oh, you want rice? I give you rice. Oh, you want money? I give you money. Oh, you want my room? I give you. I give you everything until self-sacrifice. They don't have anything themselves. You say, why are you so stupid? Yeah, when they overdo, sometimes other people might be sensitive. It might not have the good results. So she has a tendency of doing it. Those in the middle, sometimes she overdo. Those at the bottom is a conflict trigger. That means Amy, when she meets someone who is so analytical that they become obsessed, Amy becomes angry. I'm starting to touch on conflict already. Yeah? Amy becomes angry. Yeah, someone who overanalyze. Some of us were typing just now, right? Over thinking, think too much, right? So you overanalyze until they become obsessed. These things are not important. Come on, can we move on? No, it's very important. No, it's not important. She gets angry. She gets into conflict. That's why we call this a conflict trigger. Okay, so this tells you really about the things you need to be aware of. If I send Amy, or maybe if I send Susan and Victoria to be the person who's opening up a new office at Surabaya, what would be the problem? They are so sociable, they become intrusive. What does it mean? They go over, they could go to some place, right? And they try to make friends with the mayor, right? With the governor of Surabaya. Then they go over there, they have coffee together, and they start asking, hey, so yeah, how many wives do you have? Yeah, how many children do you have? Yeah, hey, how many? Wow, what is this? Yeah, you ask me, you want to see my bank account? You want to see my bank account? Huh? What is this?
It's like an interrogation, actually.
Yeah, right. Cody, you're the expert in this, right? So what? So intrusive, so capable. I'm gonna give you one. Yeah, because it's overdone. Everybody likes sociable people, right? But when it's overdone, it can get on your nerves. So when we send the two of them there, this is the high chance they'll do this. So what do I do? How you ask me? The purpose of this two hours webinar is to tell you how to get better results. Prevention is better than cure. So you tell them there is a chance you'll do this. Please be mindful. Tell them before they go over, right? So this is something that can tell. So this is a very powerful thing, right? And I spent 1 day, 2 days with senior management to run through company culture maps like this, and you can get many insights from this as well. Yeah. So this is about culture and things like that. If I may spend just let me see whether I have time. Okay, 4:20. Let's spend some more time. Yeah, I'll show you another very magical trick. Another magical trick over here. This is about coaching. You guys want to learn about coaching? Any coaches over here among the 60 of us? Any coaches? Can you just put a yes in the chat box?
I think several coaches are joined right now.
Yeah, there are a few of us. Okay, so this is for you, yeah, coaches. This might be interesting for you. There are many coaching products in the market. There are pluses and minuses for this for each one. I'll share with you what is the plus for this one. And this is my view. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and please use the chat as well. Yeah. So coaching is not as easy as it sounds. Coaching in an organization is okay as well because you are a leader. Leaders need to coach. But when you become an independent consultant and you're outside and people are paying you to coach, they want return on investment. They're paying good money for you to coach. They want to see the results fast. And in coaching, we all know we ask questions. We don't point them in a direction. Yeah. But if you're only given 5 sessions to change a person's behavior, and you're getting good money for it, it could be a make or break for your professional career. Yeah. And I have coaches who come to me and say, Weixi, I'm in trouble right now. You know, when I was in an organization, people listen to me because I'm their boss. Now that I thought I could do it very well, I had great reviews. Once I started out and charging money as a professional coach, I realized it's very hard. I'm not sure whether you face the same thing, right? You can bring a horse to the river, but the horse refused to drink water. Your fault? But you got money for it. So what do? Now, if you have core strengths, you are able to go straight to the point. If you're in an organization, you're able to teach everybody to coach, not only the leader, but also the PS. How do I do this? I'm going to show you an example of Amy. Okay, back to Amy. We know over here that Amy has a blue MVS. She's concerned about people. That's a why. That's a why. And then over here, you see that she is a caring person, but she's not so forceful. She's seldom forceful. Now, what happens if you meet a very nasty customer like Weixi, okay? And Weixi is there, and Weixi is saying, do this. You have to do this, okay? And then Amy, being the customer service manager, she couldn't say no to me. because she couldn't be forceful. She cannot act with conviction. She can't say, no, Weixi, this is out of bounds. This is not what you signed for. So she can't say no, you know. As a result, what happened? Every one of us in this team, right? David, right? Cody, we have to work extra. We have to work hard, right? And then, so what happens? We work hard, and it is not fair to the team because we are not charging for the overtime, right? So how do I get Amy to be a more assertive manager, to be more forceful in telling off the terrible Weixi? What can we do? We use something that only SDI has, that only core strength has, the blue MBS. She's concerned about people. So if you want to coach someone like Amy to change her behavior, what do? You go to her and you say, Amy, my dear Amy, do you know, because you couldn't be more forceful in saying no to Weixi, because you couldn't do that, as a result, Cody has to work overnight. Because of that, he couldn't go back to work. He couldn't go back home. He has been sleeping in office for 2 days already. Yeah, are you willing to do that? Right? And you say to Amy, if you don't say no, what's going to happen? David is going to be also involved in this. He hasn't seen his family in 1 week already. If Amy is blue, she'll be saying, oh, my good friend here, you mean I caused them all this discomfort? Oh, maybe for this time, I will be more forceful. This is coaching for behavioral change, because you know her why. You can speak the language that she responds to. You can touch the point. Oh, she's concerned about causing harm to people around her. She's concerned about, bringing bad things to people around her because she's people oriented. So you keep pressing the button and she says, okay, I will change. Does it make sense? So this is wonderful. Without naming brands, you see there are so many coaching certifications in the market. They come out. I've seen. Sometimes it's hard to make money out of it. They come here. Okay, now it works. I know we should be too agnostic, right? But sometimes this helps. You want results, right? This one gives you results. All right. So this is about culture, how you can actually look at everything together, right, and build something. Because what is the problem in Cody's company will be different from my company. What Cody wants for his company's future is different from my company's future. We are all different. And I'm sure you are also different. So having this data allows you to have that kind of analysis and decision making. Yeah. So with that, I've come to the end of part 2. Any questions?
Okay, Pak Weixi, thank you. Thanks a lot for this second interval. So we've learned about strengths, our strength, 28 of our each and every one of us strengths. Yeah, we core strength divide into the 28 strengths and also 28 overdone strengths. Yeah, so Pak Weixi has already shared to us that there is top strength, situational strength, and bottom strength. And every part has their own definition. About top strength is appear oftenly as behavior on our daily life, and situational is only appear in several particular condition, and bottom strength is not to tidak terlalu terlihat, not too clear, not too obvious for us. And also our strength, if we overdone it, if we use it menggunakannya dengan terlalu banyak, terlalu sering, it becomes overdone. It could just becoming a weakness, quote unquote weakness, because it could bother other people and it could bring harm even to ourselves. Yeah. So anyone who would like to ask Pak Weixi a question, please raise your hand. You could raise your hand, or you could just put on the chat box your question. Buat yang mau bertanya, silakan gunakan bahasa Indonesia. Kalau misalnya Anda lebih nyaman bahasa Indonesia, taruh di chat box di kotak chat di sebelah kanan, atau bisa angkat tangan pakai yang tulisan warna biru di partisipan gitu ya, klik terus ada yang sebelah kanan raise hand gitu tulisannya, diangkat. Silakan. Ada yang mungkin there is a question here, Pak Weixi, I guess. How to manage the overdone strength?
Okay, so this is a good question from Alexander, right? Overdone strength, there are 28. No matter how the way is presented, right? No matter how you manage it, there's always going to be one that's up there because it's ranking, right? It's forced ranking. There's always going to be one which is number one. So you can never really become perfect, if you know what I mean. You can never become perfect. The management of overdone strength is you try not for that overdone strength to damage your relationship. You try to make sure that you're aware that there are people who are sensitive to your overdone strength. Just like just now we were saying helpful, right? People who are helpful, some people don't like. You are too helpful, they don't like it. They feel very don't be so helpful to me, right? We are all unique creatures. So to manage the strength, and this is actually a bit to part 3, but let's talk about that. To manage overdone strength is really knowing yourself and knowing other people. Knowing yourself and knowing other people. What does that mean? I'm going to show you back to my stuff over here again. Okay, so for example, right, if I have this, if I have, is it this one? Where's Amy? Let's try Amy. So Amy, she has a medium situational overdone. Sorry, this is strength. Let's go overdone strength. Now overdone strength is here. Okay, overdone strength. Where is sociable? Let's take a look at where is sociable. Sociable is, where is sociable? Let me take a look. Where is sociable? Here in the middle again. I remember it being here. Okay, so sociable. She has something which is middle over here. Sociable, too sociable such that is intrusive. I'll share a personal story of myself. This is my top overdone strength. This is my top overdone strength. I am sociable by nature, and sometimes I am so sociable that I become intrusive. Kepo Singaporean. So I ask about people's life. I ask about where they want to go, and what is interesting is I really want to know a person, any person beyond business. I want to know as a friend. And some of my friends, I have people who come and give me feedback. I'm surprised, Weixi, that after 2 years, you remember about my wife who's teaching in the university. I'm surprised that you remember that 2 years ago, I was at US. So if we face each other again, I take the effort to write things down. I take the effort to remember. That's me. But sometimes when I ask such questions, some people will say, "Kepo, I just know you 2 minutes. Why you ask me this question?" Right? So they become affected. They don't like me. Some people say it's okay. We see, even though he's Singaporean, he spent a lot of time overseas and all this. He's a Singaporean, yellow skin with a bit of a Angmo mentality, you know. So that's what they like to say sometimes. Oh, never mind, forgive him. Right? Some people will say, never mind, bisa. Some people, I hate you. Right? So there will always be haters everywhere. Now, what happens is every single one of my employees in my company, they do a core strength. Every single one, they do a core strength. So when they do a core strength, what happens? When they do a core strength, I would get this report as well, right? So I realized one of my employees, she hated people. So over this sociable, so sociable, it becomes intrusive. It goes all the way down. So she hated people who were so kepo. She hated. So when I got the result, I said, "Oh yo, no, we're gonna have a problem over here. If I'm so intrusive, I'm gonna have a problem." So one day we were working late, and I wanted to go over to her. My speech bubble from my head over here was, "Hi, can we work late today? Can we work overtime? Will I disturb you from going out with your boyfriend?" You know, I wanted to say that because I want sociable, right? But then I realized as I go along, I remember my SDI. Oh, she is someone, who dislike people who are kepo. Okay. So as I walk towards her, I change my script. I say, is it okay if you work late tonight? Tomorrow, you can come in a bit later. I don't say anything about her family. I don't say anything about this. And she says, yes, okay, case closed. Because imagine if I had said it out, you stay, how about your boyfriend? How about your family? She would think I'm capable. At that moment, when she looked me in the eye, she won't be angry, you know. She won't, because I'm the boss, right? But then inside here, she start to form a negative impression about me. Why is this person like this? Yeah, is he trying to do something funny? This guy, something is wrong. You plant a seed. That's where relationship starts. Does this story make sense to you? So management of strengths, overdone strengths, means you need to be aware. Thanks, Alexander. You need to be aware and control your behavior among different people. And it's only possible if you have a profile like this, if you have spent time and effort, then you'll be able to prevent. Because without that, how good are we in knowing what is the conflict trigger? You can't just ask someone, what's your conflict trigger? No, it doesn't come out, right? Have you tried? What makes you angry? No, I seldom get angry. Yeah, right. Everybody gets angry at something. What thing? You have to find out, right? Great question for Alexander. Yeah, wonderful. So that is for this part over here. Any other questions before I move on? I'm aware of the time as well. It's 4:35 now. Any other questions?
Anyone?
So how do we know our strengths and overdone strengths? My friend, Farhan, you could pay. You could go to Kurdi. That's the most straightforward way, and do a profile. That's the most perfect way. Of course, you guys have came for this seminar. You have seen this 28 strengths as well. You could just, even without the 28 strengths, it's just about self-reflection, isn't it? Think about the things that went well for you. Think about the times.
Actually,
yeah, go ahead. Kurdi.
Actually, this session is also, we put it on the YouTube live. So for everyone who needs to know, or you think that this session would be beneficial for you, you can share it with your friends. There is our channel in YouTube, and you could see it, the record over there. And you could also see when I give the explanation for several things about core strengths on our content before today. Yeah, you could go to this channel.
Thanks for that. Yeah, Kurdi. Yeah, so you could do
Yes.
that. Basically, self-reflection. Yeah, self-reflection as well. Knowing what are the things that makes you good, the things that that gave you trouble. You know, like with previous relationship with bosses, we get into argument. What did they say to us? Right? What did
And
they?
actually,
yeah.
Actually, knowing ourselves and knowing others, we could change it into the, just like Pak Alexander say, awareness, aware with ourselves, and to observe others. Yeah.
Yes, sir. To observe, and then tweak along the way. Great.
Okay. Please
Any others?
continue, Pak Weixi.
Okay, so I'll move on. Yeah. So part 3, prevention is better than cure. I actually started talking about this already, right? So motives in conflict, I'll just share. In our research, we have discovered when people are in the normal state, we use 3 Ps. What are the 3 Ps again? Can you give me some encouragement by typing it into the chat box? The 3 Ps. Blue stands for. Anyone? Do you still remember our motives?
Ingat yang tadi
People.
ada 3
Yeah,
P
thank you.
gitu.
Biru, yeah, people. Merah stands for.
Red one, merah. Ada yang ingat merah tentang apa tadi? MVS-nya, motifnya.
Thank you. How about for green color?
Hijau.
Hijau, yeah. So these are the 3. The same 3 color, right? Thanks so much for that, yeah. So the same 3 color, when you change to conflict, when you are in conflict, it changes. We use 3A now. What are the 3 A's? The first A is accommodating, preserve harmony. I take one step. I don't know whether it's my fault, but since you say it's my fault, okay lah. I take one step behind. I give you discount. You say the fruit that I sold you was rotten. I'm not sure. I did a check before I gave you, but it's okay. I take one step, right? Accommodate. This is one way. Some of you do that. Yeah. The other way is what? Assert yourself. Give me proof. Show me the proof that my mangoes are rotten. Don't have? You throw away? Sorry. Right? You face up to the challenge. What's the third one? Right? You analyze, as I mentioned, right? You step away. You step away. So motives will change. Motives will change during conflict as well. Yeah. So motives will change during conflict. So how do you react? You need to know how you are able to look at people. You need to know how you are able to what are your reactions when you're angry? What are your reactions when you're angry? So I'm gonna show us the path here again. Okay. So I mentioned just now about this, right? So for example, right, I have Amy once again. I'm going to show the conflict sequence. I have this Chloe, and then I have maybe this. Okay, so three of us. So again, so look at this conflict over here. How do they tend to react? You'll see that over here, this is what we call the conflict sequence. One person goes towards green. That means analyze, right? When things happen to Amy, she won't be so fast in responding, right? She won't be so fast in responding. Then the other one will be for 11 will be she won't this person will be more of going towards either blue or red. So either she takes a step back or she asserts herself. Number two is very obvious that she asserts herself. Yeah. So Utiman is saying, how do I write these three in Bahasa? Okay, Bahasa translation. Yeah. So assert, analyze, and accommodate. Okay, I'll let Kurdi answer this, right? He's going to translate for me. I'm going to move on from here, right? So these are what you can see for yourself, how you tend to react. Now, if I say MVS, just this is interpersonal. If this is interpersonal, it tells you how these three people can work with each other. Then conflict sequence is about intrapersonal. How can you deal with yourself? You need to be aware you're getting angry. Okay, so originally I was blue. When I find I want to fight with someone, wow, I need to know I'm getting angry, and it's normal. But you need to be aware of your own management. But the focus over here really is in conflict prevention, because we're talking about in a remote world. Remote world, as you mentioned in the morning, right? You get misunderstanding. People read your words in a different way. It's easier for people to misjudge you. So how do you do this? So the way you do this really is here. I'm going to share with you something. This is what I call strengths management. Now, remember what are these top three? Remember what are these top three? Top three over here are what? The things that you tend to overdo. I have a question in Bahasa as well. Okay, so these top three over here are things you tend to overdo. Those at the bottom are things that makes other people angry, right? So imagine someone from your team did a profile here, and someone from your team did a profile here. What you want to do to prevent, right, conflict is to do a match. Is there someone who has a tendency of overdoing something, being so sociable, they become intrusive? If it's me in your team, right? So what you need is to look at all the other people in your team. Who are those who are sensitive to a person like me? So imagine you're getting me to become the manager for your company, right? And I am a kepo Singaporean. Is it okay to employ me? You can take a look at my certificate. You can take a look at my work experience. But without this, how would you know whether I can really work well with your team? You won't know. You won't know. But if I have this, you will know. If I put me in your team, who are the potential people who would react well to me? Who are the people who would take one look at me and say, don't like you. I don't know why. I don't like you. So this tells us. So let's see, for example, right? I'm going to use my favorite example, Amy again. Now, if Amy, imagine it's pair work, right? So Amy, I put her together with Chloe. What happened? Not applicable. What does it mean? It means that the two of us, okay, no conflict. Our working style is complementary. It's okay. There's no very clear clashes. But what happens, right? If I put Amy with, let's say I put her with someone else, maybe let's see, Vince Park. What's the problem? Amy has an issue. Sometimes she's so persuasive. She want to persuade people so much that she disregard their view. My way or the highway, what you say, not true. Rubbish, no common sense, not validated. That's what she will say. It become abrasive. She used the word that people, right? Here, Vince Park, the partner, if the two person are in one team, he doesn't like people who are like that. He's particularly sensitive to people who are like that. So he gets angry, right? How about if I put someone else? I put Chloe. Let's see Chloe. So Chloe is in your team, and I put her next to maybe Ella. What happens? Chloe hates people, right? She hates people who are so cautious, they become suspicious. You know, suspicious? Hey?
Curiga.
Yeah. Why are you like this? Why do you come home at 10 today? Yeah. Hey, why did you send that email? Yeah. Am I reading something? Think so much. Yeah. Think so much. And this person, Ella, don't overthink. Why you keep overthinking? Right? Don't do that. So this is something that when they start working together, they will fight for sure. Right? Kurigan, thank you. Right? They will fight for sure. So what about something else? What about, let's say I have Eric. So let's try Eric. And Eric and I have, let's say, Curtis. What happens? Do you think they'll fight? Yes or no?
Yes, surely.
Quick to act and suspicious. Act so fast and still suspicious. And the other person hates people who are quick to act and suspicious. You put these two together, wow, you'll be like gunpowder and matchstick just waiting to happen. All right? So when this happens, what can we do? What do we actually mean by conflict management? What do we mean by that? Conflict management means having a talk before it actually happens. Having a talk before it happens. Prevention better than cure. You don't want to wait for things to happen. If you're in a project team together, you're in a remote team together, we want to talk. What are the things that we want to give more time so that we are not acting too quickly, right? Because you know you have the information, right? You know, Eric, I want to hear from you. Okay. How about you, Curtis? I want to hear from you. When is a situation whereby you think is there some information where you want to do so fast? Yeah. There are some situations. Then you talk about the context of your project and you set a specific project rule. I cannot tell you the number of people who come back to me after years and telling me, thanks for that 1 day session with me where we lay out the project plan. You know, in a lot of countries, in Indonesia as well, I sell top down. I talk to the challenge is ego. You must be open. We say 5 dysfunctions of a team. Trust is most important. You trust, you are able to respectfully disagree. Once your company reach the stage where you can respectfully disagree, you're halfway there. That's my opinion, right? That's my opinion. So if you're able to do that, so I was saying in Indonesia, you know, a lot of times you sell to the top leader, and then the top leader says, oh, well, this core strength looks good, let's try, and you go down from here. Now in US, what happens is that we have people from different we have clients who they are in projectized organizations. So it could be neither. So this particular project manager, right? He tried it out, he liked it, he has the budget, he used it for his team. So every time before the project starts, he gets his people in, they do the core strength profile, they have a discussion. For the 6 of us, what are the things we need to be mindful of? Where are the potential conflict? You and you, yeah, this area conflict, stop. You and you are conflict, stop. They spend some time doing this. Spend 10 cents to save yourself $10. This is conflict management. You don't wait until you have incurred the $10 and say, I should have spent the 10 cents. That is the wrong way. right? Spend the 10 cents, spend the time, have a conversation, communicate, right? Spend 10 cents, save $10. So when you do this, you have the kind of really useful conversations. We are gonna benefit from it. So that is really in this, in a remote environment, it makes even more sense because people miscommunicate. If this person is quick to act, you're gonna tell what is my advice to Lawrence? Lawrence, be careful, yeah. Before you press the send button, yeah, please look at your email again. Of course, I'll say it to him in private, right? Yeah. So before you send, because there's a tendency, especially if you send it too fast, yeah, you didn't read through, Curtis might be angry at you. Ah, yeah. This is called conflict management, right? And as a leader, right, or even applying it on yourself and your family, imagine how much value you can get from this piece of information. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's what we have planned for you so far, I think, for today. Join the Core Strengths Revolution. I'm so happy to be here today and having the time to share with you. I'm handing this over to Pak Kurdi.
Okay, thank you. I will conclude our session. So we already knew that. By the way, Weixi, that's a good one. Spend 10 cents to save $10. Yeah,
yes.
that's conflict management actually.
It is.
But yeah. Because most company nowadays, when things just going well, they don't prepare for the stormy days. They don't prepare for situation that could go wrong between their teams. Yeah. Meanwhile, because the business is simple, but the most difficult part is human. So using core strengths, it means we are aware that each and every one of us has a trigger for conflicts. And the way to handle those kind of stuff before it getting worse is aware what things that could trigger us and what things that could trigger our colleagues, our friend, our partners. Yeah. So
yes.
we need to know ourselves. That it means aware. We need to know about others by observe. And if you have a question that how could I possibly know about my core strength, about my strength, about my overdone, how about my conflict sequence? I think we already got your contacts, and we will share it to you more about core strength and how you can get core strengths to use it for your organization, for your teams, and also to understand us even better. Yeah, and even we could use for our spouse. Yeah, Weixi. Yeah, just like you and your wife.
Yes, you can use for your own team. You can use for your private. You have a session, at home for your football club, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, Kurdi, I think we need to tell them for our Indonesian friends as well. We released the Bahasa Indonesia version.
Of course. This is actually a good news for everyone here.
Good news.
Yeah, because right now, since the early of this year, Weixi, yeah.
Yes, only this year. We just launched this.
Core Strength just provide us with a Bahasa version. So if last year we still have a challenge for language with our clients, then this year, 2020, we already comes out with Indonesian and Bahasa Indonesia version. So
yes.
If there is no longer problem or misunderstanding to understand even strength or overdone or anything, yeah.
Yes. And in fact, if I may add and interrupt, right? A lot of products in the market, even because this global products, a lot of them they translate the questionnaire, but the report itself is still in English, right? The report itself, the analysis is in English. For us, it's a full translation. You answer the questions in Bahasa Indonesia, you get a report in Bahasa Indonesia. And we already have trainers in Indonesia who are able to to share in this as well. So everything is in Bahasa. So it's a very different, huge impact in terms of your learning. Yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it quite bit a challenge when last year when we do the assessment in English, we have to do it with our clients to get all together, and every time they ask, Pak Kirdi, what is supposed to mean? We have to explain it one by one.
Exactly,
to them.
exactly. Yeah.
But no longer, yeah.
No
Today,
longer.
you can do it from your house during this work from home session.
Yes.
You can, after that you can get the result full in Bahasa, so we could understand. And if you ever had any further question, you can contact Narapatih or contact me to ask for the result. Yeah, and surely when Pak Weixi come to Jakarta for the after everything has gone well, of course.
Join me. Yeah, we can have coffee
Yeah,
together.
yes, we can have a copy or mahjong, Pak.
Oh yes, yeah. So I mean, if it's for your own office, you're interested in joining for your own practice as well. I meet up with all my friends like Kurdi and all this all the time. Every time I'm in Jakarta, pleased to solve. If you are thinking of how can I use this for different kind of interventions, not only training, right? Talent optimization, succession planning. I can share in all these things. Yeah.
And
so
this is
let's connect.
One of the most interesting part that you mentioned before. Yeah.
Yes.
No matter what kind of coaching framework, certification, or model we use, or we used to put on our clients, core strength would be beneficial for us because we know the motives. Even though the behavior is the same, we can observe and understand the difference in the motives, so we could communicate it using their way, using their language. So
Yes.
We are respect the way they are, and they will put the trust on us. And I think that's is the basic principle of the coaching, ya, Pak. So
Yes,
we could let them grow, let them find their own solution by trusting us as their, growth partner, yeah.
Yes.
Something like that. Okay, guys. Perhaps anyone who has question. And this is a very fruitful session with Pak Weixi. Don't waste it. Come on, ask. Even though you would like ask something that bizarre or something, just ask. Yeah. If anyone have anything to say or anything still bothering you, please. Kalau ada yang mau nanya, yang kira-kira masih butuh penjelasan lebih lanjut, belum gitu, silakan tanya. Even dalam bahasa Indonesia, silakan. Kita bisa translate. Tapi kalau misalnya memang nggak ada yang nanya, but if no one is asking, it only means something, Pak Weixi. I think your slides is very show us the clear about core strengths. And
thank you.
Actually, all the friends, our audience here, just to remind you that this session is recorded and directly put on our YouTube live. You can see it on Daily Talk by Narapatih channel. And anytime you would like to see it again, perhaps you miss something or you have to go meanwhile in the session for do some domestic things, you can see in Daily Talk by Narapatih. And also you can, if you feel this is beneficial for you or for your organization, please be my guest. Just share it to your friends through the channel. Yeah, Pak Weixi, I think this is the one of the fruitful moment for this afternoon, Pak, to learn from expert.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, I think every one of us is right here learn something. So for conclusion, is by aware about ourselves, our strength, our done strength, and even though we are not getting tested or get our core strength profile, but
after this session, I think we could have some kind of sketsa ya. Kita dapat gambaran. We got clear some new understanding about ourselves. Oh, so actually, as human, we don't have weakness, but because of we overdone of some of our strength, that we know it, understand it as a weakness. So this is one of the best framework, I guess, that I ever know. Yeah, Pak Weixi. Thank you so much, Pak Weixi. Thank you so much, everyone. Wait. Nah, what is the name of the last application to see the combination? Yeah, actually, if we join the core strengths, we could do something like this, ya.
Yes.
Kita bisa pakai kalau misalnya gini, buat semuanya, for everyone here. Our teams will contact you soon after this, just to see what can we do for you, what can core strength do for you. Yeah, the detailed version about core strength, you could go to corestrengths.com, of course. And,
my website.
Yeah, or the websites. You could go also to our website also, and don't worry. Soon after this, our teams will contact you right away to see whether we can support you on any way for organization using core strength. Okay, Pak Weixi, I think this is two very good and well spent hours, yeah, being with you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, and also it's our honor to learn from you today, Pak Weixi. Terus partisipan semuanya, terima kasih untuk hadirnya belajar bersama siang hari ini. Pada hari ini kita ada sesi-sesi selanjutnya. Mungkin Lala bisa put it on the screen. Yang berikutnya, there is some of our next session.
Yep.
Okay. This is our next session for Monday. We will have a digital seminar how to keep disease safe during COVID-19 by Pak Bayu Aji Pangestu, jam 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. ya. And on Thursday, Kamis, kita akan di dinner juga cyber security awareness during COVID-19 pandemic. Pak Wira Setiawan sama with the exact same time, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I know some of the facilitator is well known about cybersecurity, so I think if you would like to know about the Zoom, is it Zoom safe? Is it Zoom really? Some hackers really get through Zoom's security. If you would like to know, then join us on the next Thursday. But also, if you think you need your business safe, because just like what I said before, even after the COVID-19 is turun, the trend is going down, still we need time to have for several time for economy bounce back. So how to keep our business safe until we could operate normally again, of course with the new normal. Yeah. So this is it. I think this is not there would not be the last meeting with Pak Weixi, I guess. We will see Pak Weixi again online or offline. Yeah.
I hope. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. We pray for Pak Weixi health and success, Pak. So you can share. Yeah,
thank you, my friends from Indonesia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
See you.
God bless and may the force be with you.
It's over. It's few days already, bro.
Okay, bye everyone.
All right,
See you
bye everyone.
again.
Have a great weekend. Yeah, cheers.
Bye. Thank you, Pak Weixi. Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Pak Weixi.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Pak
See
Cody.
you.
Yeah. So we keep in touch again via WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
we'll I hear it from you soon. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Cheers.
Pak. See you.
I'll log off first. Yeah.
Come
Cheers.
see ya.
Bye-bye.